I would like to tell you about business models that work. The first model I call a 3Ps of business. The first P is purpose. It's why you get up in the morning. I believe everybody's here for a purpose, and your business should reflect that purpose. If your business is in alignment with that purpose, for example, if you're a vegetarian, you cannot do a cattle ranch. I don't care how successful that cattle ranch is, financially, it will never feed you emotionally. So the most important thing is that you find your purpose in life and that your business or your occupation reflects that central purpose. I don't think we're here by accident. I think we're here for a reason. You may have to search deeply to do it, but you have to find that purpose. Now, if your business is in alignment with that purpose, for example, my business purpose my purpose in life is to help people succeed in line with my goals and values. I'm not going to help somebody do something I don't believe in, but any business I feel is making a contribution, I'll support with all my heart. So, if you have the purpose and that's solid with your business, it will create the passion. Because life without passion is very boring. So, if you have the purpose, the passion will show up. Now, passion looks like you want to get up in the morning. Passion looks like you're excited about things. Passion looks like you may be really tired, but then you'll start doing your work and all of a sudden the energy will show up. I've had times when I've been totally exhausted and I pull up to a client and then I get in the meeting and I just go, it's like I'm inspired because it's really what I love to do. So your business should do that. When you do your business, you'd have more energy, not less energy. So if you find yourself in your business thinking about your business and it draining you, you're probably doing the wrong thing. So it's important that you have passion about your business. So if you have the purpose, that purpose helps create the passion. And then the third one is profit. We're in a system where you probably need to make money doing what you're doing unless it's a hobby. So the business model needs to be a profitable business. Now make sure the model is appropriate to the kind of money you want to make. I use the example of, say you want to go to the moon. Now you can have a really, really cool car, like the best Ferrari in the world. It won't get you there. You can have a really sort of bad rocket ship, and you got a better shot. So make sure that the business vehicle is a vehicle that you want, and it will produce the profit you want. For example, let's say you want to make money providing some kind of service, and you want to become wealthy. You just want to make a good living, you want to become wealthy. Well, if your vehicle is trading dollars for hours, unless you are literally, even a rock star can't do it, you can't get rich trading dollars for hours because it's the wrong vehicle. But for example, if you produce a product, like if you're a rock star and you produce a record, you can make it more than you can in concerts. Or if you are a firm and you want to have other people do it, then you can leverage your time. So then the vehicle is appropriate to the end you want. So the purpose must be there, the passion behind it, and the profit needs to be in the vehicle that you want. So make sure the vehicle is appropriate to where the end game is. Now, another business model I found very successful, and I've used for many, many years, is the inspiration versus desperation model of business. The inspiration model of business is based on love, and the desperation model of business is based on fear. Let me explain how this works. Picture a sine wave, right? And a sine wave is the cycle of most businesses. Businesses go up and then businesses go down, usually within the comfort zone of the person having the business. And let's say it's an income of, pick a number, $10,000 a month. So when businesses go down, people have certain activities. When they go up, they have other activities. So let's say you're doing well, you've got some, in a business that needs clients, and you're up at like $10,000 a month. There are certain activities you do that cause the business to go down. It can be taking vacations, not making sales calls. There's always businesses, things that you do in your business you may not like to do. So what will happen is when business is up, you'll do certain behaviors, and you know what they are. You know the things that cause your business to go down. You do those, and business goes down. Now, if you don't turn it around, you go out of business. If it goes so low you can't recover. Like in business, you can only stay in business long enough to pay for your mistakes. If you make a big enough mistake, you go down. So you do those things, the business starts to drop. Now, what takes hold of you? What motivates you? All of a sudden you make the sales calls you really didn't want to make. You make the phone calls. You show up for those extra days. You work extra hours. You do all those things you need to do to turn your business around because you're motivated. And what is motivating you? Fear. Works every time. It's a gun to the head. So the fear causes you to do these certain other behaviors which cause the business to go up. And then you get to the top of your comfort zone and it causes your business to go down. And so the cycle of business continues. So you're in fear, out of fear, in fear, out of fear. And the real problem with this model is that you spend the rest of your life in fear, which sort of is not a good idea. And it causes a lot of stress. You may die younger than you need to, could have high blood pressure because you're in constant fear. Because that's the way your business is going to function. That's what I call the desperation model of business. It's pretty much what most people do in business. Now, I have another model of business called the inspiration model of business. And that model is based on love. Sounds better, doesn't it? Well, in the love model, it works like this. There's things you do that make your business work that you like to do. And there's things you do that make your business work you may not like to do. So, when you get to the bottom curve, let's just say you hate sales. So, you live in business and you really don't want to sell. But you know if you don't sell, your business is going to tank. So what you end up doing is getting in and out of fear, and then you get enough fear, you sell, get out of fear, don't have to sell so much, you're selling, but you're constantly worried about selling. In the inspiration model of business, you let somebody sell that loves to sell. Believe it or not, there are people that love to sell, people that hate to sell. So what you do is you delegate those things that you don't like to do, but you know it has to happen for the business to work, to people that love to do it. So that way, you just do what you like to do all the time. But the things that need to get done by people that also love to do them, but they get done. So what it allows you to do is your salesman's loving sales all the time. You're loving administration all the time, and your business is just trucking along, but nobody is in fear all the time. Because being in fear all the time is just not healthy. And there's also no correlation between working hard and making money. Some people think that's something you have to do because of fear. It's not. It's working smarter. Now, every business needs an instrument panel, which you might say relates to our early sine wave kind of business model. And the instrument panel is like this. When your business starts going down, picture an airplane, flying along, and there's instruments that read in front of the plane, under the plane, and behind the plane. And if we use a business analogy, instruments read in front of the plane tell you where you're going. They would be sales projections, that kind of stuff. Instruments that read under the plane are like daily cash flow, break-even analysis. Instruments that read behind the plane are profit and loss. And you need the whole instrument panel in order to fly your business. Now, what happens in the desperation model is if all of a sudden you look and your sales projections are low, you go, oh my God, I didn't make enough cold calls today, or I didn't actually do enough activities. It's an activity-based thing. Then you will do that behavior to turn the business around sooner. If you don't use instruments that read in front of the plane, let's say you're using your profit and loss to fly your little business here. The problem is your plane can crash before you know the problem. Because by the time you're at a P&L, and if you have let's say your cash flow is $100,000 a month. If you lose a couple $100,000, you're out of business, and your profit and loss is going to be behind the plane. So make sure that you have instruments that are appropriate to your business. And instruments that read ahead of the plane, under the plane, and behind the plane. It's very important. Now, the other thing about business instrumentation, it has to be appropriate to the size of your business. If you are flying a Piper Cub, a little bitty plane, you use what's called dead reckoning. You look up, there's the sky, there's the ground, don't hit anything. And you're good. Because you're only going 89 miles an hour, you're good. But all of a sudden, let's say you're flying a Beechcraft, a faster plane. You better have a little more sophisticated instrumentation or you're going to be in trouble. And let's say you're flying a jet. You got to have really good instruments or you're all going to die. Well, it's just like that in a business. Let's say you're a small business, like two guys in a truck. I mean, you go to work, you collect the money, and you're done. And when you're working, you're making money. But if all of a sudden you're running a large construction company and you don't know whether your 40 people in the field made or lost money today, you're in trouble. And they could lose so much money that you're dead before you figure it out, or else you have a collections problem. So it's really important that your instrumentation is appropriate to the size of your business. And the sophistication level has with your software, your management systems, all those systems you have that you fly your business by have to be appropriate to the size of your business. And it's interesting. If you look at businesses like PepsiCo that own Taco Bell, for example, they can tell you whether they made or lost money in all the Taco Bells in the country 3 times a day. Because it's a huge business. They have very sophisticated instruments. Whereas somebody like Mamma Mia's, pizza stand doesn't know where they made or lost money in the last 3 years. So, in fact, that's the way franchise is doing so well, because they have more sophisticated instrumentation, and all little businesses are crashing and burning because they just don't have the right business instruments, which provide the information they need to do a good job and fly the business well. So remember, make sure you've got the right instrumentation, and if you can, just do things you love to do and work on inspiration and not desperation.